So this tray has very few items, and I'd like to tell you before I start putting the items in, the prompt for this work that I was doing was I was feeling a little scattered. At the time that I'm recording this is in the middle of the COVID pandemic. There's a lot of fear, especially for an entrepreneur and a small business owner. There's also a lot of pressure in the world of mental health, as there's at the same time that we're having economic pressures and a lot of divisive issues in our country. We're also having an emotional and mental health crisis, and therapists experience a lot of that responsibility or burden. But anyway, I was experiencing quite a bit of feeling lost. So I like to think a lot about my business. And when I think about my business, I often will use this item to represent the business of a practice. In my particular area of the world, which is in Roseville, California, I like the idea of a great place for clinicians to do their work. So therapists and social workers having a beautiful and amazing place with all of the appropriate tools and privacy so they can do their best work as a way to kind of set the foundation that when their clients then come in to meet with them, that then the client is able to do their best work, and ripple effects, so on and so forth. And with that complicated concept, I often, my therapist friends will tease me and say I'm trying to create therapist Disneyland. So with all of that, I will often use this to represent sort of the ideal that I like to think about, where we could all be doing our best work. And, therapists have a lot of heart, and I have a lot of love for the vision. And so I put this lovely little crystal heart next to it to represent, the therapist Disneyland, which is, just kind of a funny way to refer to it, and then all of the loving feelings that I have towards it. So then I have this object, which I, at this time, am considering a pathway. And there's a pathway to this, was my idea, right? Like, where is my path? And I was feeling at the time I constructed this tray, which is about maybe 2 weeks ago, I'm so confused about the path. Like, the world has changed so dramatically. And so what I thought was a clear path before feels hidden and buried and kind of cattywampus like this. And so I wanted it a little bit visible, not very visible. That day that I was building it, I was feeling pretty lost. And then I had the path that I'm seeking, the path I'm currently looking for, which I may have found, by the way, in the last week. How to reorient myself to the new normal, right? Therapists aren't exempt from that particular problem. And then, like anything that you're trying to build, you're going to need some good tools and a willingness to pick up that tool and get to work. So just taking in then this tray, I'll say, I often will ask a client, what feeling do you have about your tray? And the feeling I have about this is clarity. The clarity of why I'm having such a hard time. Well, the path that I thought I knew is now really hard to see, and if I wanted to use it, there's all kinds of stuff on top of it. It's not even pointing in the right direction to what this new thing is. This has to change. And so there's clarity for that for me about the emotional state that I was in, and also a little bit of hope. Hope that I will find a new path. Hope that I always have found another path. Hope in the fact that I know how to get to work. So this is a little sharing about me and my personal journey. I hope this has been fun for you to enjoy the deconstructing of the sand tray. The name for that I will give to this tray, this world that I've created here today, or recreated, is clarity of the dream. Thanks for watching.